Fraud and fraudsters have been around since the dawn of commerce. The world's most legendary fraudster is probably Frank Abagnale. His story was immortalized in the Hollywood blockbuster Catch Me If You Can. In more recent times, the story of Bernie Madoff graced headlines across the globe. His fraud went undetected for years and equated to an unbelievable $65 billion.
Spectators and the media gathered outside the federal court in New York today to witness the sentencing of epic financial fraudster Bernard Madoff. Judge Denny Chin had the final say after 10 victims. Madoff and lawyers on both sides had the opportunity to speak. He handed down the maximum sentence of 150 years, which will undoubtedly see Madoff behind bars for the rest of his life.
Identity fraud is when a criminal steals and misuses the identity of another person in order to carry out criminal activities.
The final piece of the jigsaw is ID. The best possible form of ID you can get is a British passport. You know, people die on boats and stuff for this passport, and they climb over mountains and they go everywhere to try and get this passport right here. With this ID, people give you anything. They don't even question it, and they just look at it. They'll give you whatever you want there and then, because as far as they're concerned, it's a real passport. If you make it look good enough, no one's going to question nothing. So that's the most important part, is the photo ID. So that bit's done now. So now we just need to make the rest of the utility bills and the bank statement, and that's it. We're going to make a complete bill with numbers on the back. Everything that it's meant to have, it's going to have. So when people look at it, they turn it over, it's going to have all the numbers there, everything's in place. Even the direct debit cut-off slip is perfect to how it should be. There's no difference whatsoever.
The House of Fraser store card, do you do a House of Fraser store card? You do, yeah? Do I have to bring any ID with me, or?
You'll need a form of ID, like a credit card.
Oh, right, I've got that, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. And just that's fine, yeah? All right. Thank you very much.
They don't want you to take it more than they think you want to take it. So just let them sell it to you.
Hello. I was just making some inquiries, really. I see you up to 3 years interest-free credit.
Yeah.
I'm looking to get my wife a 10-year anniversary present. Okay. Yeah, that looks all right.
It's nice looking watch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Marital status, you're married?
Married, yeah.
10 years, was it?
10 years, yeah.
Same as me this year.
Oh, yeah? Well, you don't look old enough to be married 10 years.
10 years, July.
Wow.
Do you have any proof of residency at all with you?
Yeah,
driving licence or utility bill?
I've got a utility bill. Yeah. I've one bit in the car. There you go. Thanks.
They haven't got a clue what they're looking at, what ID they're looking at, how to check to see if the ID is real or not. They don't have a clue. And that person could issue you up to £5,000 credit on the spot there and then.
Right, you have 6 autographs in total, sir. Signature there, signature and date on that one, and then there's 3 copies of it, basically.
No
one
problem.
for you, one for Hitachi, and one for us.
Okay, sir. Go and get the card. I've got to do a couple of little bits just down there, yeah?
We'll have the watch ready, we'll have all this done, all the paperwork sorted.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you.
Thank you very much.
That's all right.
Thank you. You've done well, thank you. See you later, yeah? See you later, bye-bye. Bye.
On one day, it could be that there might be 20 of us out, and that girl does 20 applications in one day. That poor girl is going to get in trouble.
There are an abundance of frauds and scams targeting people on a daily basis. But it is identity theft and online scams that have become the greatest threat of all. Identity theft is one of the fastest growing crime waves throughout the world, and one of the newest forms of fraud to hit these shores. Victims of this insidious type of wrongdoing may not even know they've been targeted until it's too late. Just one piece of paper is all it takes for somebody with the right skills to steal your identity.
It's prevalent all over the world, and you know, many different jurisdictions are looking at the problem and means of reducing it or reducing the threat to it.
I think that the idea that identity fraud can sometimes give people the misleading idea that someone's going to take over your entire identity. It doesn't actually quite work that way. I mean, if someone skims your credit card and then uses those details to purchase something that they can sell on the black market, they've stolen your identity, even if it is for, 5 seconds over on the internet and has no further repercussions. It's still identity theft.
The crimes of fraud and deception have been around for hundreds of years, but the advent of the internet has opened up a whole new gateway for criminals to prey on the public. There are a multitude of online scams targeting people on a daily basis, and this constant threat doesn't look like disappearing anytime soon.
The amount of fraud online is huge. I mean, there's literally there's hundreds of thousands of people whose full-time job is to try and steal money online.
The internet provides huge exposure to potential targets for the fraudster, no matter what type of fraud that they're engaged in, because there's always somebody out there online that that may engage with them. So from that point of view, it is a huge issue.
What we've seen happening with online fraud and the prevalence of it is interesting. You have two types of fraud. You have a lot of the older fraud, which is people who used to try and con you face to face, and then over the years it became trying to do it by post. Then the telephone arrived and people updated their frauds again. And now they're doing the same old frauds, reimagined and reinvented in the online era. The second type then is a whole new set of frauds which can only be done online. And unfortunately people have to be vigilant against both types, the old frauds reinvented and the new ones which really target you using online technology.
The dangers online are so vast, it's impossible to pinpoint all of them. But there are several prominent scams that online users encounter on a daily basis. Online lottery winner. The international lottery winner scam attempts to trick recipients into believing they have won large sums of cash. Alleged winners are asked for large upfront fees for processing the fictitious winnings. In doing this, bank account and credit card details are solicited from the supposed winner. Advance fee fraud. This can come in many different guises, ranging from potential new employment to purchasing a product online. The victim is sent a bank draft for more than the fee that has been agreed between both parties. The fraudster asks the victim to wire them back the balance, not knowing that the draft that they have been sent is a fake, thus leaving them out of pocket. Dating site fraud. The fraudster establishes a relationship with the dating site user over a period of time. Eventually, they present them with a hard luck story that can only be resolved by financial means. Once the fraudster receives the money, they are never heard from again. Fake online shop. These are online shops offering products at a considerably lower price than other retail outlets. Very professional-looking sites are a simple ruse to get money from the buyer with no product being sent in return. Phishing. Used by fraudsters in a multitude of scams. The main aim of the fraud is to obtain the user's personal and financial details.
I was going to try and find a nice pair of trainers for myself. Yeah, these are bad, isn't it? You can get card details from hotels, you can get them from secret fraternities online. Getting hold of it is easy. First got into it when I was like a teenager in secondary school. 16, I'd say. eBay scam, and I got some wrestling figures. I mean, people would just ring me up and say, mate, can you order me some Indian, please, or a pizza? Fucking starving. I've done stuff for people and they haven't looked after me in return. With that being done, I know everything about them. I just go and take a credit card out in their name. I've even done it to a girl. She deleted me off of Facebook and I put her ass into debt for doing that. That's what happens when you delete me off Facebook. Top websites to completely annihilate if you're low on money, need clothes, want food. Number 2 is Harrods. The security on Harrods is actually a pile of poo. I remember me and my Slovenian boys, we raped it every single day for a month. They just went back to Slovenia with all state-of-the-art stuff. And out there, they were getting top dollar for it as well. At number 1 is Tesco's, my favourite. This is what we help the neighbourhood out with. For the single mums that, you know, don't have as much money as they would like to, you know, they give us a bell and we just order them shopping to their house. The security on Tesco's is rubbish, but I'm happy that it's rubbish because it's helped a lot of people. So I bought myself, you know, shitloads of DVDs because I want to start like a little pirate industry. You know, give the little youngers something to do. This is just pleasurable Warhammers, you know, I love this stuff. Limited edition Warhammers. Wicked. I mean, this is...
As you can see, it's quite easy to do. It's not hard at all, not complicated. It's estimated that in my time as a fraudster, I stole £30 million. It was really easy, it wasn't hard. loads of different scams ranging from phishing to identity theft. Loads of different online stuff. I was finally caught, served a prison sentence, and decided to turn my life around. The figures at the beginning of the film, if fraud was a country, it would have a stronger economy than giants such as Canada, France, and the UK. That's an amazing amount of money that fraud generates across the world. There's been lots of big fraudsters in the past. These include Bernie Madoff, Nick Leeson, Stephen J. Russell, and of course Frank Abagnale. Out of all the fraudsters that you just seen there, they'll probably have the most in common with Frank Abagnale, not just because we're ex-criminals turned crime fighters, but lots of parent history, the same as I saw my father lose everything to the tax man in the same way that he did, and that spurred me on when I was at a young age to do whatever I wanted to do. And I was determined to get it all back. Fraud's always in the public eye and always on TV, but by the time we see the documentaries that are on mainstream TV now, the frauds are probably 5 to 10 years old. So the fraudsters actually moved on and has 10 new frauds that now no one's aware of. And so the public is seeing old stuff. It's because of all the red tape involved. That's why I've been trying to do current documentaries and make stuff that's really happening right now. The one that's out there right now, I don't know how many of you know about it, it's called electronic pickpocket. It's a serious, very cheap bit of kit. Because I bought one the other day for £7.50 off eBay. Simple conversion. I can walk into a room, just tap against your pocket. I get all the information that's on your credit card, on your passport or Oyster card. It's a fraudster's paradise because it's so cheap and so easy to get. There's a simple, easy deterrent for it. Obviously, you've probably all seen the magnetic wallets and just putting a bit of tin foil in your wallet just to stop it from getting stolen. But it's out there and it's going to hit very big. You can go to tube stations, airports and shopping centres and, you know, there's people everywhere. It's not going to be hard for them to get 1,000 details a day. That's more than any online forum anywhere. So, you know, that's just one for the future. I've done a thing in the past through phishing schemes. It's called the black money scam. And basically, it lures someone into believing that there's a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, which we all know there's no pot of gold. It was very easy to do, and it cons people out of thousands of pounds. That's what the poor person ends up with at the end of it. It's just a pile of old black carbon paper, and you know that starts off the internet just off of one email that you might have opened, and it's simple. One of my friends actually lost £180,000 to it, and because he was so embarrassed about it, he didn't tell no one. You know, it was only after when he spoke to me, I told him it was a scam. Couldn't believe that he'd got done for it. One of the first frauds that I got involved with was guaranteed car finance. I was driving in Surrey and I saw a sign on the side of the road saying, everyone accepted for a car. So I thought, wow, everyone accepted for a car. I wrote the number down. When I got home later, I decided to give him a call, and he answered the phone. Very easy, car credit, can I help you? I said, yeah, I've seen your sign on the motorway. Is it possible to get a car on finance? He said, have you got a driving licence? I said, yeah, I've got a driving licence. He said, I could get you a fucking Ferrari, mate. That was his exact words. I was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe it. I'm thinking, I'm going to get a Ferrari. That's, you know, I'm off. Near enough true to his word. The next day I went down there, and by the end of the evening, he'd secured me finance on a £30,000 ML Jeep, of which I drove away that day with a driving licence that I'd made the evening before. It was as easy as that. And again, exactly how Beverly had said, the people are commission-driven. So we just played into that hand and let them do it. I carried on doing that scam for around 4 years with loads of different cars, Porsches. We did get Ferraris in the end. It was quite a mad one. Where does it stop? Cars, Rolexes, big houses, you know. For a fraudster, it doesn't stop. You can continue and go wherever it takes you. It's not hard, it's very easy. all information is obtainable from all different sources, whether it be through the rubbish or whether it be through online forums or just simply using Google to tap in and find stuff out about people. Most of you today that I've spoken to have given me your business cards. If I was still in the game, I could then go and find out all the rest of the information about you. I've got your business card, I know where you work, I can put that down as your work address. That's how easy it is. So it's quite an important one. As I said, I've done all types of different frauds. What I'm trying to do now is actually prevent fraud and go to companies and try and train them in what to look for in fraudulent documents, because it's not all about, you know, over the internet and you can get this and you can get that and you've got to have the right document checker there. And the people that are actually on the front line are the retailers that are in shops. These people need to be trained. As I've shown on there, they're not. And I've gone with simple little bits of information. On the bill that you actually see me give the girl there, I actually put "you're thick," and I wasn't being rude. I was just seeing to see how observant the girl was, to see if she could see that, and she didn't notice any of that. It got passed on to a manager, and it still went through. So, you know, people aren't looking. That's basically it. If there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.